I was at Swiss Bank originally as Axiom's first client. Then we moved on and we became UBS, and we then were the first company to take Axiom to Europe. Then we were the first company to take it to Asia. And I was involved in doing all of that because I really could see the value that we could create by using this software and using it globally. And so that's worked out. So as a managing director at UBS, then later at Barclays, I've built and managed high-performant teams, high-performant programs of work to deliver large-scale change. And we've done that in IT, we've done that with our business processes, we've done that with our organizations. And I'm going through all of this before I get to this because it's kind of a part of the theme of what I'm trying to share with you today. So how did I end up at Axiom? So maybe there is a little bit of this. There is a little joke that I can come out of this. Everything has a story. So Alex and I, obviously Alex being the owner of the firm, we've known each other from when he started. He was a consultant at Swiss Bank and kind of coming up with this idea for this company. And so I've known him for many years. And usually I was coming in and he would show me all this great technology. And then I would say, and what's the business problem we're solving? And he's like, okay. And so we helped to develop that through the years. And so our relationship has been one in which we've been doing that all along. So I had Alex and his wife Deanna over at our house with Pat, my wife, and I. And we're sitting there having dinner. As I often would do, I start telling Alex, well, what are you doing about this? And what do you think about that? And how are you mitigating this risk? And his wife later shares that I caused him to lose a couple of days' sleep. And then I was looking around for what I was going to be doing next, and I had been looking at potentially going back and taking a managing director job at one of the big firms again. But most of the big firms, and no offense guys, but you all had these wonderful visions about how all you wanted to do was cut costs, and all you wanted to do was move things to India. And I was an IT guy. I like to build things. So we had a little bit of wine, and I'm telling Alex, you know what? I really need to find a mid-sized company that's growing and wants to build something. At which point, once again, he's got a really smart wife. She goes, you missed your cue. And so turns out I came in to have lunch with him. He was showing me his new offices. So anybody who hasn't seen it down on Broadway, he's actually got great offices. And over lunch, he says, so why aren't you working for me? And that's where it kind of came back, and I looked at it and I said, this was a great fit. Now, why did I think it was a great fit? One, I've already told you I believed in software. The second thing that I come to is I really can see the power, the value, how you can use this as a platform, not just for your reg reporting in one place, but you can use it to do your compliance reporting across a whole variety of different things. So I have to believe in it, and so the good news is I do, and I'm married to an Italian, so I can use all my gestures and emphasis and all this. But the other thing about it, though, that really appealed to me is I was looking around for a company that shared my values, and these are values in which your word has meaning, in which when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Where genuinely you like working with the people that you're around you. And I've had the pleasure to do that for most of my career, and so that was another important piece about it. And then the most important piece that comes on top of all of that is I really thought I could make a difference. And I think I can make a difference in the COO position for two reasons. One, I think there are things that this company needs to do, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit as the first example of that. But the other thing is, because I've been on the other side of the podium and the other side of the table, I actually have a great deal of understanding about a lot of the problems that you are facing and have been facing. And I think that I provide a valuable conduit for you to have someone you know within Axiom who understands what you're going with, and so that we can help be a better partner to you. So that's a little bit of my background, and so now I take ourselves in here. Yesterday I was talking about Axiom features. Now, for those of you who are like me, when I think about features, they're those little things that you really would like fixed in the software, but your nice account representative tells you how it's really a pleasant, cute little facet of the software in which you live with. So one of the things we're going to talk about here is when Axiom has been developing their software, we're really keen on getting things out. We want to get changes, we want to be responsive, but the little detail about the documentation around it hasn't been so good. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because if you're going to believe me that we're going to change things, I got to tell you in advance I'm going to change them, and then you can actually monitor our progress and see that we do it. So here we go. We start with, in our world, we're global. We have our regulatory changes. We have templates that we serve. Templates are things in which we try to give you the templates, all the details in and around given reports. Why? So that all of you don't have to have someone dealing with all these details. And one of the people in my team kindly gave me an example of some of this. So just for one report, the 031, we have apparently built in 22,000 edit checks, 110 different formulas, a whole bunch of other cosmetic things that go in here. I'm like, okay, and we've got hundreds of these things that we do. Maybe even 1,000 if I go globally, but we're here in the US, let's talk about it here. Hundreds of these things. You don't want to do this. This is a great reason to be using our template services. We just got to get really good about delivering it out to you. So, now we come, and when we have our changes coming up, the regulators kindly give us a fair number of changes, and as we've heard the different people say, that isn't about to be ending. We also have enhancements that we make. That's a nice way of saying that's things that we want to add into the software because we think it'll be useful for you. And then there are fixes, and fixes are things in which we probably should have had right before, but we didn't quite get. And so we got to go back and do them again. So one of the things I want to make sure is we don't have too many repeat fixes. All right, so with that, a given release should come with release notes. And the release notes should also tell us about our regulatory changes, enhancements, and fixes, and how it fits to our templates. All right, so what is the purpose of our release notes? We want to start by communicating to you what we're going to do. It's part of what we're going to be delivering to our clients, and why are we doing this? We should tell you what we're going to change in advance. One of that cute little features where we tell you what we released after we released it, we really got to get better about telling you about it beforehand. Okay, why do you need to know about it in advance? You've been telling me, but I'm going to repeat it back so you know that I heard you. It's a lot easier for you to plan, to do your testing and implement the changes if you know what's changing and what's going to be done. And it also enables us to do a better job of cross-referencing. So as we're doing our own internal controls, if we know what's supposed to be changing, we can do a better job of testing to make sure that that's what's changed. And to make sure that the delivery matches what we said. So the other thing that we're going through is we've got a lot of really great programmers. And these guys really want to, and I'm being serious with you, they really want to deliver to you the best product they can. But in their eagerness to give it to you, they tend to package in a whole bunch of things that you never asked for in the first place. And so your release started out with, hey, I'm going to change 50 things, and all of a sudden you find you have 500 things. So what we're going to be doing is changing to a model where less is more. We're going to be working towards a model where we deliver what we say, and we're going to get into a more planned release structure. This way we can have better accuracy, less gaps. You can better understand what's going to be delivered. We can standardize our experience across different clients. And this is another part. The first part is all for you. The second part is for me. As more and more of you start subscribing to these services, I need to make it so that you can take on these changes with less and less support, so that you can do it easier and understand and take this on your own. So it's not all altruistic. It just so happens I like clean processes. And it gives you the instructions. It should come with limitations. So this gives you a place to get it all in one place. It gives you a summarization. And what this starts to do here is you start to have some sample changes. You have some hyperlinks that'll go in there for those of you who really want more detail. But I'm trying to give you a summary version so that those people who want to see it at a high level, that'll hyperlink down to the details. We'll have those standardized formats so that whether or not you're getting bank holding company reports or you're getting asset management reports, the templates and the formats will be the same. table of content, an overall change summary, the details, the known issues and limitations, the deployment, and any related documents. We don't really want to look at all these release notes right now, but I'm giving you the bits of this. And then what we're going to start doing is I've picked 2 reports to start the pilot on this. One within our asset management area, one within our bank holding company, in which we started out for this quarter to see that we're doing that. What the various representatives you have at your firms, they should be able to do is show you what that format looks like, take you through that, and assuming everybody's comfortable with that, then I'm going to start industrializing it and taking it to all of our different reports. So the idea behind this is to give you cleaner, better understood change, and to get ourselves as a firm delivering just the change that we said we were going to do, not all the changes that we thought you might want. Now, got to have a lawyer on my shoulder somewhere. Lawyer on my shoulder says, Ken Lamar and the regulators come out with the change and they give me that change after my release notes. Guess what? You get it as soon as I get it. And so those changes that come from the regulators late, you will get late, but we will at least explain that to you. And the reason that we're doing it is you need them. And we just need to take them as soon as the regulators come. But at least now what I'm promising to you is the things that we control, our desire to be helpful, we're going to do a better job of making sure that we deliver just what we said we're going to do, not a whole bunch of things you didn't ask for. So, with that, we've got ourselves a continuous improvement. This is a journey. For those of us working at Axiom, they've been hearing me preach the word of a journey a lot over the last several months. We're not going to fix everything, but we've got a culture in which we're committed towards improving this.